When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems. Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call. Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on the Andrew Johnson Highway.
Ann got hurt in a wreck between two trucks. The insurance companies blamed each other and just wouldn't be fair. So we took it to court and got Ann a settlement of $180,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like G3 John boats, built Gator tough. G3 Johns include all the features you could want from a workhorse boat. Massive live well capacity, lockable storage, even a midship fuel tank that allows for smoother running. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports. You are watching the Sports Source Kickoff with John Pennington, presented by Madisonville Marine.
Good Thursday evening and welcome into our show. Tennessee plays Tennessee Tech on Saturday. You know this. It's homecoming. You also know what's gone on in Knoxville this week with the program. We think that we're going to go in the direction of what's going on with the program rather than a full breakdown on Tennessee Tech. No disrespect to Tennessee Tech, but Tennessee should win that game. We'll get to that a little at the end of the show, but we're going to delve into the Jalen Hurd situation. Is it the dumpster fire at UT that some are making it out to be? Is all well, as Butch Jones wants to say? We'll tackle all of that here on the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. And Madisonville Marine, of course, brings you this first segment. You see their website right there, whether it's John boats, bass boats, whatever you need, and Madisonville Marine has it. And they've also got terrific G3 sales event going on right now with awesome rebates. You need to get down to Madisonville Marine to check that out. All right, now you check out the guys who are joining me on the show. We have right here Jimmy Himes from Sports Radio WNML. We have Mike Griffith from SECCountry.com, and down there, VFL and former NFL defensive end, Will Overstreet. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm going to have to assume that most of you, if you're watching this show, you know what's going on this week. You know that Jalen Hurd left. You know Tennessee's lost 3 in a row. Hurd is transferring with 4 games left in order, apparently, to become a tight end or wide receiver. As Jimmy reported, that's what he told some of his teammates. You also know that, as I say, Tennessee Tech might not be the toughest game out there in the world. We'll see. So let's just dive into this. Will this whole thing, Jalen Hurd leaving, let's start here and then we'll flip it around, but will that be a plus for team chemistry? Will that be a help to the locker room?
I think it will be. I think there were some issues with Jalen Hurd, and I do believe that he had an opportunity to go back into the game against South Carolina. He elected not to. I think at the team meeting that they had that Sunday night, the day after the game, I think he was called out, and I think that after that he told some of his teammates he was leaving, and I don't think there was one teammate that tried to talk him into staying. I think it's going to help.
Mike Griffith, you've been on Jalen Hurts' case for most of the year. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, you don't. You never want to see a young guy fail.
Well, no, I shouldn't say congrats. Not like you ran him off.
Right,
What I'm saying is,
right.
I think you saw things.
There were signs.
Yeah,
There were signs.
You picked up on some signs.
The non-contact jersey, Jalen's mannerisms, the way he answered some questions earlier in the year, the way he didn't show up to any interviews to talk about his team. I mean, Butch says own it. The guy never owned it, and apparently didn't even own it in the clubhouse. So I think it's unfortunate for Jalen. But as far as Tennessee goes, look, this team needed something. There needed to be a catalyst for change. You get it in the form of John Kelly, a guy I think you're going to learn a lot more about. So yes, John, in the sense that I think John Kelly has teammates excited about blocking for him, it will help the team.
You had Brett Kendrick, I believe, on Monday or Wednesday, came out and said that, he runs hard. He's the kind of guy you like to block for.
Gets up, wants the ball again.
Yeah, don't know that was a shot at the last guy, but certainly to say he wants the ball,
I don't know,
we
Will,
like
what do you
blocking
think?
for him.
You did some interviews like that, didn't
Very
you?
quickly, Will, is this going to help team chemistry in that locker room?
Yeah, if you have a guy that does not want to be there anymore, which I think more and more became obvious that Jalen Hurd not going to the Texas A&M game. Used to have guys when they got hurt or had an injury, they still traveled with the team if they're the face of the team and the leader of the team. They're still there. They can do treatment there.
And some others did.
Yeah, and others did. So I think you have to look at this as this is a guy that's not happy, not being the team. If you have that case, it is a bad apple. It only takes one or two of those to have serious team chemistry issues. Getting him out is best for him, and it's best for this team.
And I think there are parallels to what he has done and what Arian Foster did a few years ago. Where Foster was unhappy. And I think Foster had his eye on the NFL. What's best for me as far as the NFL? I think Jalen Hurd is going through the same thing.
Well, when you have a lot of players who know they're not going to be in the NFL and they're giving their all, and you see some other guy who's putting on the shelf for down the road, I would think that would tick you off a little bit.
Or being allowed to maybe not practice.
Let's flip it around. All right, let's say chemistry improves, but you've lost talent. Now, Hurd, whether he's been banged up, it's his attitude, or it's a combination of the two. He hasn't been Hurd. He hasn't been the Jalen Hurd we've seen this year. But you do lose another body. If John Kelly twists an ankle, okay, now you got some serious issues over there. Have you lost so much talent? Are you missing so much talent that it's going to counteract the whole chemistry gain? In other words, your locker room may be better, but you're down so many guys you may never see it on the field. Is that fair? Are you concerned about that or no?
I think it's already happened. I mean, you saw Carlin Fields-Aime force a fumble essentially at the 50, and we saw Nigel Warrior pressed into action when the backup safety, Evan Berry, gets injured. You got a third stringer out there. He gets burned for the winning touchdown. So the attrition has already played a role, John, but at least now you can start preparing these guys, and it leads to such a healthier environment. You got to want to play football. You got to be excited about it.
That's true. I mean, there's nothing like not wanting to be there, not playing. We saw a couple years ago Derek Dooley. I mean, a Kentucky team that had a wide receiver that converted quarterback for 2 practices, and you lose because the team didn't want to play.
Yeah, especially two leaders on an offense.
So, I mean, if that is the case, you definitely want to go against that. I mean, it's more important to have a team that wants to be there and wants to play together than it is not. But you're already in the injury situation. Losing Hurd, as tough as that is, you're kind of like, we've already lost all these other guys. We'll figure out a way to survive you.
Very good. There's been a lot of, everything's either you're national champions and nothing's ever going to go wrong again, or it's the end of the world. Let's all light our hair on fire like Blackbeard and just run wild through the streets. And he did that, by the way. Look it up, Wikipedia. The thing that stands out, though, is for all the people that are saying, it's a dumpster fire, it's out of control. I'll get your take on this, but you mentioned it about Hurd. Preston Williams transferred. I didn't see anybody coming out to rush to his defense.
In fact, Juwan Jennings said that he had a sense of entitlement.
Yeah. Because I'm not seeing guys rush to these guys' defense and say, oh, how are we? I don't think that it's the train wreck that it appears to be in the locker room. Now, we'll see. I think we'll get a good idea on Saturday whether or not they're emotionally recovered or not. But I don't think it's as bad. It's never as good as people think. It's never as bad as they think. Somewhere in between, and I don't think it's the nightmare scenario right now.
I don't either, but I want to hold judgment until I see how they play these next few games.
Yeah.
Do they come out and they're lethargic like they were against South Carolina, or play like they did against Kentucky a few years ago when they didn't care about going to a second-tier bowl game? So I want to see what they do. It shouldn't really matter against Tennessee Tech, no offense, but with Kentucky and with Missouri and with Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
See what they do. If they don't run the table and they don't play very well, then I've got to wonder about that.
30 seconds.
I definitely agree with that. It's coming down to seeing how this team plays is going to tell you what the real effect in the locker room is. If this team comes out and just does a South Carolina the rest of the year, then yeah, you got some issues. You got bigger issues than you're even seeing now. If they come out and they play better, then you're kind of like, we may have gotten rid of the people that were causing this team to play down and causing team chemistry problems. Okay. So it all comes down to what they do.
Okay, very good, guys. I do want to, again, it's about perspective, and we rarely have that in our profession or in a fan base anywhere out there. But you keep in mind this, the program's coming apart. People are transferring. They're leaving. Stars are leaving. You're not living up to the expectations you set before the season. Fire the coach. Same things were said last year at Texas A&M about Kevin Sumlin. Same exact situation. Didn't hit expectations. Guys leaving. The program's in disarray. They didn't panic, and they seem to have recovered. So just a little perspective. All right, when we come back, we've got 600-mile-an-hour topics to discuss, from Kongbo to more on Hurd to Butch Jones. Come on back.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like Skeeter Bass Boats, the maker of the very first American bass boat. Skeeter's consistent innovation creates the most maneuverable, best engineered, and best designed boats for anglers everywhere. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with beautiful home theater seating. No matter your budget or room size, Games and Things has you covered with a wide variety of styles and configurations, from simple comfort to the latest seating innovations. Watch the big game, a movie, or your favorite TV show in the lap of luxury. See the selection online at ourgameroom.com or visit Games and Things, Kingston Pike at Lovell Road, because life should be fun.
Games and Things, because life should be fun, fun, fun.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on I-40 near Asheville Highway.
Ed got rear-ended by a truck and hurt his back. He couldn't have an MRI because of an old war injury, so the insurance company refused to pay. We filed a lawsuit and they paid. Ed fought for all of us, and we fought for Ed.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
Welcome back in. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. This is the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine, of course. This segment brought to you by Games and Things, because life should be fun. Visit their enormous showroom right off Lovell Road exit over on Kingston Pike. They are fantastic. Whether it's billiards, table, home theater seating, they've got it all. Games and Things. All right, lots to cover in this segment. We're going to take 1 minute on each topic. That includes the question and the answer. So everybody gets the question here. We'll just row through it, and I will start right now with Mr. Overstreet. Cue the music, and let's go. You played in the NFL. Hurd is a guy 400 yards from being the best running back in his school's history. Now he decides to quit 4 games to go. Transfers is the goal, to change position so he'll have a longer shelf life in the NFL. Does this move make sense for Jalen Hurd?
Not in my mind at this point. I mean, it's you're going to doubt. You're going to have some negatives against you now and going into the NFL draft. Now, I will tell you this. If for whatever you transfer someplace and you're an All-American breakout tight end, they don't care. They selected Pat-Man Jones. They selected
Aaron Hernandez.
They selected Jameis Winston. They had a lot bigger questions than just moving from a team to another group. So if you've got the talent and the tape that shows you can play and they think you can help them win, no, doesn't hurt you at all. If you're a 5th or 6th rounder, yeah, it can push you back into not getting drafted.
Okay, very good. You came in under the time. That's good. Mike Griffith.
He's got a high motor. He always had a high motor.
Butch Jones talked all off season about having a player-led team. My question was always, what are they paying you for? But player-led team, Did he misjudge the leadership on his own team as badly as it now appears?
I think the players that voted for some of these captains and didn't vote for Derek Barnett misjudged it. I want to know who handed out the ballots. If Derek Barnett's not a captain,
it was rigged.
I don't know who is. I think Joshua Dobbs has proven to be a great leader. I think that's part of the reason why he's still the quarterback, John. Even though there has been some efficiency issues, you can't question Josh Dobbs' efforts. You can't question the way he sparks the team with some of these plays that he's made. Derek Barnett should be a captain. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the injury is unfortunate. I don't think these captains.
But did Jones misjudge the leadership on his own team?
I think so, yeah, and I think he probably learned a lesson from it. It goes back to what you're saying, about managing guys with a lot of talent. So I do. I think he did misjudge their leadership ability.
Look at this. We are blazing through. This is perfect. Jimmy Himes, you reported this week that Jalen Hurd's mother had been arrested during an altercation during the Florida game at Neyland Stadium. Some folks took that as you smearing her for UT's sake. Of all the people I've ever worked with, you're about the last person that would ever do that, and I think 30 years in this industry shows that. But explain your thoughts that went into that process.
I had been told, going through the timeline, that she had been escorted from the stadium at the Florida game. I'd heard that sometime after the game. So what? Well, then somebody said she got arrested. When I looked into it, I couldn't find it. I looked through the KPD. I couldn't find any report of it. And it wasn't until recently, much more recently, that somebody said, no, it's at the Knox County Sheriff's Department. That's where the arrest report is. I didn't know that. I finally got in touch with Martha Dooley with the Knoxville County Sheriff's Department, and she said, yes, we do have this, and she sent it to me on a Tuesday after 5 o'clock. When I got the arrest report, I saw that she had assaulted an officer and was charged with that, and with resisting arrest. To me, that's a story when a parent of a star player does that. So I wrote it at the time that I got it. There wasn't any holding it until he quit. I didn't know he was going to quit. I wrote it whenever I got the report.
Which you've done with other parents in the past and not gotten any flack
Sure.
for.
Malik Foreman's dad was arrested after the Citrus Bowl. There wasn't any flack about that. Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, his dad was arrested and kicked out for intoxication at that game. It was in the Dallas Morning News. People say it's not a story. Well, it's not a story. Why did it run on every TV station, every newspaper around here?
I would also say, to me, even if it weren't a story the first time around, when a guy transfers, I think it becomes a story, because then you're looking at what played into his decision to leave. Could his mother have, she then came out and said that she was for staying, but could that have played a role in him saying, I don't like it here? I would think if that were me and my mother, that may weigh on my decision. But all right, very good. Next one up, we have, let me restart here. Yep. I'm not good with the clock. Will Overstreet, Butch Jones tried to calm folks by saying all is well, don't panic. What else are you going to say? Then he quoted a Wall Street Journal story that tied back to his buddy Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, saying, we need more high fives, we need more chest bumps. Is there anything he can say right now, though, that isn't going to be smacked back in his face by angry fans?
No, there's not anything he could say that's not going to get smacked back. Let's just face that. The only thing he can do is get this team to go out and win the rest of its games. That's how you do this. There's no talking about it. There's no slogan. There's no line. There's no scientific study I can show you that says we're going to do this. Just go do it. Win, put the numbers up. People forget about it.
Okay. I will say that in Butch Jones' defense, there appears to be a slogan for everything. Mike Griffith.
You're juiceless. If you're juiceless, you're useless.
Butch Jones said that Jonathan Kongbo's mysterious tweet on Sunday night was because he lost in a game of FIFA, a soccer video game. Are you buying that?
Well, I'm not buying it, but I don't know necessarily if we ought to say Butch is the one that's spinning it. After all the stuff that
that's what he said at his press conference.
Well, but
Monday.
maybe that's what Kongbo told him. And I don't know if Butch Jones believes that, but Kongbo to me is a young guy. These are young people we're talking. Let's remember that too. These guys are 20, 19 years old. Kongbo is a guy who's very immature, who's having a really bad year, has not made the impact that everyone expected him to make.
Including him.
He doesn't have a tackle in 5 SEC games, John. He has 4 for the season. Clearly they need him to move inside the defensive tackle. He's 6'6", 284. Clearly he doesn't want to, because you've got Kyle Phillips going in there at 260. I think the guy is, probably needs a lot of attention and maybe a little immature.
I think he may be on the fence. I don't know that he's here for the next 4 games. We'll see. And that's for the time. It's not disagreeing with me. Jimmy, we don't have a minute, but I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Butch Jones has never taken this much heat. I want you to purely speculate right now. Do you think, if given the chance to transfer himself, he would take it?
I think given the frustrations he's incurred here, if you want to go back to Title IX and the media scrutiny that's here, I think if he had a chance to take a similar job with a similar salary and only 3 people that covered his team, he would take it. I think the media scrutiny bothers him.
You're not
and I
the
think
only.
He's probably been a little bit insensitive to it as well.
Yeah, well, and if you're coming from Central Michigan and Cincinnati, you're not front page, so you're going to have to get used to that. So, all right, very good. When we come back, one area where Butch Jones clearly needs to improve, and that is the management of 5 stars and their egos. We'll discuss as the clock ticks down. See you back in a minute.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with a new pool table. Games and Things features a huge selection, including Brunswick and Olhausen, 2 of the most respected brands in the industry. Traditional, contemporary, rustic, or formal, Games and Things has many styles to choose from. You can even customize the pool table to fit your own personal taste. See the selection online at OurGameRoom.com or visit our award-winning showroom at Kingston Pike and Lovell Road.
Games and Things, 'cause life should be fun, fun, fun.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems. Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like the G3 Talon Series. Talons give you everything you want from an all-aluminum boat. A smooth ride thanks to wave-splitting entry lines, lockable storage, live wells, insulated coolers. G3 Talons have it all. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. This segment brought to you by Phoenix Conversions. They've provided quality vehicle conversions on trucks, vans, and SUVs since 1987. Check out their website right there. Guys, one area where Butch Jones seemingly has to grow is in learning how to manage some of the stars and their egos. At Cincinnati, Central Michigan, he's not bringing in a lot of 5 stars. Probably should have thought of that on the front end, that he's getting a lot of these great recruiting classes. How is he going to be able to manage these egos? You make promises. Some guys come in when the reality is different than the promise. They're willing to work and do what's best for the team. Other guys, you got a guy that says, unless I'm starting at receiver, I'm not playing your special teams. You got another guy that says, I'm a defensive end, I'm not a defensive tackle. Another guy says, I'm leaving if you don't do this with the offense. You don't cut my carries back to here and put me in a 2-back set. All right, what do you do if you're Butch Jones? You're not Nick Saban with a stack of 5 stars at every level. What do? Do you let the inmates run the asylum? Do you make the promises and carry through? Do you make the promises and not carry through? Or do you just say my way or the highway and let them go and make the fan base mad? What's the right answer?
I think this is growing pains. I think this goes back to leadership. This goes back to seniors. Look, everybody comes to Tennessee as a 5-star. If the program is a winning program, there's going to be juniors and seniors that are going to say, listen, junior, this is how it's done around here. Take your seat. When it's your turn, you'll be in my shoes competing for championships. You don't have a senior class like that. You've got 11 seniors.
Okay.
And these are guys who didn't win at a high level.
That's partially on the
and
players.
don't know how to win.
Okay, you're putting it on the players. Will.
So here's the deal. To get a guy here, you tell him a lot of things. And then if he shows up, Jason Witten's one of them, and they looked at him and said, he can't play defensive end. One day he shows up and he's got a different jersey and he's learning how to catch the ball. That turned out fairly well for Jason, by the way, I think, in the NFL. But, I think you have to do that. And if a guy's not willing to do it, then, hey, you're not playing. I mean, that's the end of the day. But when I say you're going to do this, you're going to do this. Doesn't matter. If you want to go, you go.
Yeah.
I mean, but you got to do it that way. There's no other way to do it. You do what's best for the team. If they're not willing to work with you on that, sayonara.
But you get a lot of ticked off people because then it hurts you in recruiting when they see all these 5-stars go.
Well, I'm with Will on this. It's my way to highway, but you should not put yourself in position of making promises you can't keep. Now you're asking for trouble then.
You are.
And
yes.
I'm not talking necessarily about when they're in high school to college. I'm talking about after you got them.
If you say stick around for next year and we'll change the offense, you're going to be better. You're going to be held to that.
That's different. That's a different. I mean, there's
and that's going to be the herd claim.
Yeah, because I mean, there's getting a guy into school recruit wise and then seeing what he does and can he play. But no, once you have a player on your team, especially a leader, you better tell him the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Now, one thing
quickly, 15 seconds.
I think that when Butch got here his first year, he had about 7 or 8 draft picks from Cincinnati. He told me every one was a 2 or 3 star. All of them were developed. I think he is better with players who have a chip on their shoulder rather than a 5-star who feels a sense of entitlement.
Fair enough. And then also, sometimes you can just get bad 5-stars.
Sometimes overrated,
overrated or bad eggs.
Bad egg, yeah.
Not a team guy. Let's say if you're a 5-star and you're the highest recruit on your high school, you're used to having the spotlight. You're used to getting it your way. You're the big man on campus. You come to college and there's 10 of those guys, you may not react well to that. So that's possible as well. All right, when we come back, what should we expect from Tennessee on Saturday against Tennessee Tech in terms of motivation? Are they going to be mired in lethargy again? Come back, we'll discuss on the Sports Source Kickoff.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like G3 John boats, built Gator tough. G3 Johns include all the features you could want from a workhorse boat. Massive live well capacity, lockable storage, even a midship fuel tank that allows for smoother running. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates. Like this one on North Peters Road.
Lee got hurt when she was broadsided by a speeding car. The insurance company offered nothing, so we went to court and got a verdict of $99,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years, and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
From kitchens and bathrooms to custom patios, decks, living rooms, and even shutters, let the remodeling team at Benedict Construction turn your home into your dream home.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems, East Tennessee's #1 source for security and entertainment needs. Folks, build your perfect man cave, theater, entertainment, media room with Safety Systems. VFL J.J. Serlins can help you get it done. Safety Systems. All right. Want to remind you, coming up Friday, hey, there it is, the Pigskin Panel. That's on Sports Radio WNML. That will be Mr. Himes and Mr. Wilkerson hosting, myself and Mr. Overstreet. And then coming up on Sunday, the Sports Source. 1,000 people on the show. I think the cast of Ben-Hur is the only one that's larger, which is why we're the #1 rated sports show in East Tennessee week in, week out, and that's because of you. So we thank you, and we'll see you then. It's Homecoming on the Hill. We got about a minute and a half here. Homecoming on the Hill. Tennessee Tech comes in. Tennessee should win this game, period. But the question is, do they come out and blow doors, which I think would tell us, okay, now we know the chemistry was an issue, or do they come out and look blah? Do you think they're going to recover mentally in time for this game?
I think they'll recover mentally, and I think it'll be not so much rallying around the coach, but rallying around themselves. I think they feel embarrassed by what happened at South Carolina. I think they want to come out and prove that this is a better team. So I think they will play much better and show more energy and not be as lethargic as they were against South Carolina.
Very good. Mike Griffith?
I think it'll be the John Kelly show. I think you're going to see a lot of this guy. You're going to see what he's all about, how he got out of Detroit and found a better way down here at Tennessee. And as we talked about earlier, he's got guys that want to block for him. And I think you got a defense now that's motivated to try and play well.
Oh, crazy legs.
Crazy legs, right?
You know, for me, this team's always hard to read. I mean, there's been times they should have come out motivated. And every time I thought they would come out motivated, they haven't. So, I mean, I'm still up in the air about this team of seeing where they're going to be. I think they'll play better than they did at South Carolina, but are they going to be a bunch of rah-rah, chest-bumping, high-fiving each other? I don't know if they're going to be that this week either.
You gotta have we all did high fives before the show, and that's why the show went better today. I thought it might have been our best show, mainly if we chest bumped beforehand.
Great timing on the clock.
If we chest bumped before the show, it would have been even better. All right,
good clock management.
Yeah, clock management was excellent. Thanks to all of you. We appreciate you watching each and every week. We'll see you right back here next Thursday on Fox 43 for the Sports Source Kickoff. See you Sunday at 11 a.m. on WATE 6 for the Sports Source. See you then.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.